Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to the midday news on Global Television. We are live in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Queen Agaba. The Nigerian army has confirmed the killing of its officers who were on a peacekeeping mission to two warring communities in Delta State. Those who lost their lives include a lieutenant colonel, two majors, one captain, and 12 soldiers. The Director of Defense Information, Brigadier General Tukru Gusau, confirmed the incident yesterday. The unfortunate incident occurred when the troops responded to a distress call after the communal crisis between the Okwama and Okoloba communities, both in Delta State. The reinforcement team led by the commanding officer was also attacked, leading to the death of the commanding officer, two majors, one captain, and 12 soldiers. The First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has flagged off the distribution of exercise books across the country, restating the commitment of the administration of President Bola Tinubu to education in the country. The exercise books are expected to be distributed to primary school pupils and junior secondary school students across the country. Speaking at the flag off, Senator Tinubu disclosed that the exercise, which is under the education program of the Renewed Hope Initiative, RHI, will give each state of the Federation 50,000 naira exercise, 50,000 exercise books, while Kano and Lagos states will get 100,000 exercise books due to their population. She also noted that the distribution, which would be through state universal education boards, may be an annual event. The First Lady admonished the children present to focus on their studies, noting that the administration of President Bola Tinubu would ensure good life for all the children. Meanwhile, the Court of Appeal in Abuja dismissed separate appeals seeking an order compelling the Code of Conduct Bureau to release the assets declaration forms of former President, the Vice and National Assembly principal officers, the Public and Private Development Center, and the incorporated trustees of the African Center for Media and Information Literacy had in a separate suit dragged the CBB, its chairman, before a Federal Capital Territory High Court for their refusal to honor a Freedom of Information Act demanding the assets declaration forms of former public office holders. PPDC sought the asset declaration forms of former President Goodluck Jonathan and his vice, Namadi Sambo, ex-president Muhammadu Buhari and vice Yemi Osibajo, while the African Media Center requested that the former National Assembly principal officers, the trial judge, A.G. Abdul Kafarati, dismissed the application, stating that the National Assembly did not prescribe the terms and conditions to apply for. Ondo State government has approved the recruitment of 2,000 teachers into the state civil service as part of its efforts to reposition the education sector. The state governor, Lucky Ayedatiwa, made this known at the inauguration of late Rosa Jane Pelly Legacy Project at Fiwashaye Girls Grammar School, Akure. Ayedatiwa, who was represented by his deputy, Olayide Adelami, said his administration will continue to prioritize education. There was confusion in Edo State yesterday as chairman of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Tony Aziegbemi, was kidnapped by a gang of armed men. Aziegbemi was said to have been captured a few meters to his residence of the government reservation area in Benin City. He was purportedly trailed by his abductors, who were said to be in two Toyota Corolla cars. A total of 150 judgments by the Economic Community of West African States Courts of Justice have yet to be obeyed for or enforced by member countries. A record of the status of the judgment obtained from the court's registry indicated that all ECOWAS countries and some of its institutions have outstanding judgments to enforce. According to the record, as of January 31st, 2024, Nigeria topped the list with the highest number of unenforced judgments at 43, followed by the Republic of Togo with 23 and Guinea ranking third with 14. Others are Mali with 11, the Republic of Niger has 9, Senegal 8, Sierra Leone 7, and Cote d'Ivoire with 6. The Gambia has yet to enforce 5. Benin Republic, Liberia, and Burkina Faso have for unenforced judgments each. The federal government has said the implementation of a committee to digitalize healthcare would ensure data policy regulation and repository management and serve as an ombudsman to establish a national digital health environment that will support the scale-up of digital health interventions. Speaking at the inauguration of the 20-person committee in Abuja, the coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Mohammed Pate, said the digitalization of health would help to improve patients' experience and protection of data. The Minister of State for Health and Social Welfare, Dr. Tunji Alausa, said the lack of uniform data collection and management has presented the Nigerian healthcare system with numerous challenges and limited the development of health industry. The Senate called on the federal government to expand its coverage, the National Health Insurance Scheme, to cover patients with chronic kidney disease. It also urged the FG and other stakeholders to launch extensive public awareness campaigns on kidney disease, prevention, risk, and unavailable treatment. The Senate resolutions were sequel to the adoption of a motion sponsored by Senator Abdulaziz Yaradua, APC Katsina Central, under personal explanation during Tuesday's plenary. In his presentation, Yaradua said recent statistics from the Nigerian Association of Nephrology revealed that 25 million Nigerians were living with kidney diseases. The managing director of the Niger Delta Development Commission, Dr. Ogbuku, says that the commission will partner with medical experts to run its regional specialist cardiovascular and orthopedic hospital, which is still under construction in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. Ogbuku, who disclosed this after inspecting ongoing works at the hospital, gave an assurance that the project will be completed and fitted with the best medical equipment before the end of the year. This was contained in a statement issued in Port Harcourt by the NDDC's Corporate Affairs Director, Pius Ugakpo-Teni. The NDDC MD, who was accompanied by the Executive Director of Projects, Victor Antai, and other directors of the agency, also noted that the health facility would meet international standards. In a bid to confront the existential challenge of climate change, especially its impact on peace and security in Nigeria, the Italian Shipping Academy Foundation, in collaboration with the Alumni Association of the National Defense College, has organized a two-day international conference focused on capacity building for law enforcement agencies in Nigeria. The organizers say will help in tackling the growing threats that climate change poses to lives and properties. Global Television brings you the report. Take a listen.
With the team coping with climate change as a cause of conflict in coastal and other communities of West Africa, the Italian Shipping Academy Foundation, in collaboration with Alumni Association of the National Defense College, put together a two-day international conference that had in attendance representatives of various security parastatals and stakeholders. The conference, which began with the introduction of the C7 West Africa project by retired Air Commodore Darlington Abdullahi, had other notable speakers as well as a representative of the Italian Shipping Academy Foundation, setting precedents for the rest of the conference.
The Italian Shipping Academy Foundation took up the responsibility, with the support of the European Union, to create awareness and thus enhance a new dialogue, why not an alliance, between social and institutional forces. Hence, the train-the-trainer sessions undertaken for the first responders and the support to affected communities through grants and other aids.
Highlighting the importance of climate change awareness and the C7 initiative, the representative of the European Union to Nigeria, Letizia Torrentia, called for more inclusivity.
This is not merely an environmental concern. It is a global imperative that impacts all of us. On the international scene, the EU stands firm in supporting partner countries to mitigate the effect of climate change through robust research and policy making. We advocate for ambitious climate action in multilateral fora and foster innovative sustainable development initiatives through bilateral cooperation.
Speaking on the effect of climate change in the West African region, the Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, called on all participants to seize the opportunity in equipping themselves for service of their fatherland.
This is another opportunity to equip yourself for the service to your fatherland. Those from the operational and strategic levels should know that the impact of climate change does not discriminate, but it is your duty to ensure effective management of associated conflicts real time.
Advocating for a more immediate approach to the intersection between climate change and conflict, the Vice President of Nigeria, Kashim Shettima, says these patterns poses a significant challenge to law enforcement agents.
These environmental challenges are not mere isolated incidents. They have far-reaching consequences, like we heard from one of our speakers, is slow and steady. And once we hit the planetary boundary, it's irreversible. They have far-reaching consequences, especially in vulnerable communities. The resulting conflicts over dwindling resources, displacement, and migration patterns pose significant challenges to law enforcement agencies tasked with maintaining peace and order.
For Global Television, Queen Agaba reported.
You're watching Midday News, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times, channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. When Midday News returns, only 7 banks can meet CBN recapitalization requirements. This and other stories coming right after this break. Please stay with us. On the foreign scene, the United States Assistant Secretary of State for Educational and Cultural Affairs, Liz Satterfield, will visit Nigeria from Sunday. According to a press statement released by the U.S. mission on its website, Satterfield's trip will commence from March 17th, 22nd, 2024. During the visit, the Assistant Secretary will reinforce the Biden-Harris administration's commitment to Africa by focusing on people-to-people connections between Americans and Nigerians. Satterfield will also build on a recent visit by Secretary of State Anthony Blinken to Nigeria. Top UN officials have condemned the rising tide of anti-Muslim hate as the General Assembly adopted a resolution to push back against the scourge. The officials adopted the resolution in New York to commemorate the International Day to Combat Islamophobia, which is globally marked annually on March 15th. The new resolution, tabled by Pakistan, calls for, among other things, concerted action to fight ongoing violence against Muslims and requests the UN Secretary General to appoint a special envoy to combat Islamophobia. In business, President Bola Tinubu has declared that without national identity card registration and comprehensive data coverage, it is nearly impossible for the government to provide social welfare measures for the underprivileged in the country. Speaking at the Forum of States Chairman of the All Progressives Congress, APC, at the State House in Abuja, Tinubu assured Nigerians that his administration is tirelessly working to enhance their living standards. According to him, local authorities must advocate for the acquisition of the National Identification Number, NIN, by citizens, essential for strategic planning, structuring, supportive interventions, and integrating them entirely into relief schemes. Importing food into the country amidst the escalating food crisis and inflation rates. The president made this statement at a meeting with the Forum of State Chairmen of the All Progressives Congress, APC, at the State House in Abuja. As per the latest figures from the National Bureau of Statistics, Nigeria's food inflation rate has soared to a concerning 37.92% as of February 2024, prompting speculation that importing food could swiftly elevate nationwide food price pressures. However, the president underscored that resorting to food imports won't address the prevailing food crisis, warning that it merely fosters corruption and rent-seeking activities. He mentioned that his administration is determined to invest in the agricultural sector as well as promote mechanized farming in the country. Moving on, no fewer than 17 out of the existing 24 deposit money banks may be unable to meet the Central Bank of Nigeria's capital requirement if it is increased from its current 25 billion naira. The CBN Governor Olayemi Cardoso had in several forums stated that the Apex Bank would consider an increase in the minimum capital base of banks in the country as part of its effort to strengthen their capacity to support Nigeria's drive to become a $1 trillion economy by 2026. The current capital base is stratified based on the type of banking license. Banks with regional, national, and international licenses are currently expected to maintain a minimum capital base of 10 billion naira, 25 billion naira, and 50 billion naira, respectively. Ogun State Governor Dakwa Abiodun has called for the exploration of available partnership options between Germany and Ogun State in the area of food production. He said Ogun State was looking at ways to contributing to the food security agenda of President Bola Tinubu. Abiodun stated this when he received the Consul General, German Embassy, Wet Bonner, in his Oke Mosa Abeokuta office. The governor says his administration was on the lookout for partners in the area of mechanized farming, adding that the state government could be supporting small farmers across the state. And that's it on the Midday News, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times channel 276. Don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. I'm Queen Agaba. Thank you for watching and see you again.